There's a massive failing in our children's education. Huge numbers come out of school really unable to explain the greenhouse effect, the water cycle or the carbon cycle or how soils form. These aren't peripheral matters, these are absolutely central to our survival. These are arguably the most important things on earth. They might be in the curriculum, but they're at the margins. And I believe they should be at the centre. What I've found for years, because I've been involved in teaching children through adventure learning, through outdoor education, you find that children are inherently fascinated by the living world. And yet somehow we've failed to excite that fascination because I think we've treated it as marginal. It's not going to be important to your career, it's not going to be important to your understanding of the world, and yet this is the most important thing on earth. The economy, which we fetishize so much, would not exist at all if it weren't for earth systems and ecology. We almost deliberately detach our children from material reality. For instance, look at where food comes from. Kids eat sausages, they eat ham, they eat chicken, without a moment's thought about what those sausages, that ham, that chicken is. In fact, a friend of mine was saying that his daughter once asked him, "Isn't this funny? This stuff is called chicken, and that's called a chicken as well. I wonder why they got the same name." And it's because we've been so cut off from it deliberately, so that we don't actually see what we're commissioning in order to eat this stuff. I believe that every child should be taken on a school trip round a slaughterhouse. And if that sounds outrageous, that we should see what we're eating, the challenge I would give to you is the problem the seeing or is the problem the eating? Because if we're not prepared to see what it is that we're eating, perhaps we should stop eating it. During the lockdown, I've been teaching two children, my 8-year-old and her best friend who's 9. And so using the kind of project-based learning that they do in Finland, which has a very successful educational system, I've been trying to build up a picture of the world starting with the principles of ecology. So we go from the mountaintops to the very deepest ocean. We go from the canopy of the rainforest to the soil, and we paint the habitat itself. And that enables us then to talk about all the extraordinary things which are going on in the living world. Because in ecology, everything is connected to everything else. There is no limit to the ways that that subject can go. And as a result of that, it's perfectly made for the children to lead you, for it to be child-led learning. Which kid doesn't love animals? You could start with like the cutest animal of all, like the sea otter. Sea otters are literally the cutest animals on earth. Without sea otters, there would be no kelp forest because the sea otters eat the sea urchins, which graze on the kelp. When the sea otters go, wiped out by the fur trade, by ecological changes, the sea urchins proliferate and they eat all the massive kelp which grows to many, many meters tall and supports an entire ecosystem. The kelp disappears, the ecosystem collapses. You need the sea otters to sustain the ecosystem. What child would not be fascinated by that as long as you can infuse them with the extraordinary story that you're telling there? And we can then follow the paths outwards from ecology into physics, into chemistry, into biology, into maths, into writing, into painting, whatever it might be. There's 1,000 ways to go out of it. But if we tell children everything else in our lives is a subset of ecology and earth systems, they'll take delight in getting their heads around it. And that walks us into all these other understandings of life around us, the understandings which are absolutely crucial to our well-being and survival. Now more than ever, we need alternatives to the billionaire media. We need people who are not afraid to confront wealth and power, who will speak truth to power, who will call out the things that wealth and power do to everyone else. So please support Double Down through Patreon. It's your support which will allow this alternative media to thrive.